Hello everyone and welcome to another video review. This is the Magic Square Menasor Combined Mode video. Finally, yes, we're getting to this because, well, it's here, it's ready to go. And they're all ready to, well, do their thing. And you can see that the frame is back there and everything. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get them built together. And that's actually pretty easy, somewhat. We'll go ahead and start with the leg bots here. I'll just go ahead and break down Wild Rider. Yeah, it's actually pretty easy on the back here. It's kind of an either or thing. You see these 4 tabs, there's 4 slots here, and you can either have them pointing up or pointing down, either way, although the sculpting on the front here would imply it points up. And just line it up and well, tab it in. If it will actually, there we go. That's pretty secure right there. Now, Wild Rider here, that's the weird thing is he's only got 2 slots up here, none down here. So basically he's always not quite as secure as Breakdown, which is a little weird in my opinion. It's one of the several things about this set that should kind of make me go, that's a odd decision to make. You know, kind of one of those things where it's like, why are you doing it like this? Now, Motormaster, right here, he just goes in the back. He just slots in like that, and then there's 2 slots up here which these 2 tabs go into, and you got to make sure with this a little careful. It's on like multiple armatures. It's supposed to tab into the front chest, but often it wants to come untabbed when you're bringing this out because it's a very stiff hinge, at least on mine. And just tab that in. Make sure you've got it completely tabbed in. I do not yet because, yep, it did do that thing. And there we go. And it is secure. Motormaster is secure in there. You got this is what most of us were rocking for like the last month or so. Weird stuff on there. And then finally, the arms. Now the arms here, there's 3 different variations. I'm going to start off with one of the kind of the easiest one. There's this little platform here. You get that and get that out there. Well, there's a slot here and a slot here, and those correspond with those tabs right here, and I almost knocked the whole thing over. Yeah, it kind of corresponds. You just go ahead and get that all slotted in, and that right there. And then there's the 2 panels that come with him. 2 panels that come with the guy. And they actually have unique molding. And you want the one that, let's see, which one is which? Yeah, you want this one right here, because this one has the slots and these tabs right here. This is for this side. What you do is, yeah, what you want to do is tab this in. There's little slots right here, and just go over those tabs. It's kind of particular about it. I might be putting it on the wrong. Yeah, this is the wrong way. Yeah, it's weird that you'd think the hinges would be a little different, but yeah, you think they'd be symmetrical, but they're not. Just tab that in, and that fills out the forearm right there. And same thing as I'll do on this side. This guy, he's also got tabs, and you don't have it the same way. You see where the hinge is? Yeah, you want this actually facing the opposite direction because of reasons. They made it asymmetrical. Yeah. And this guy right here, once again, you just get something up under there. Yeah, I pull this little panel out, and then these 2 tabs right here will correspond with these slots right here. Right there you go. And that is one configuration, and well, that's Menasor. Because again, they didn't name him. Another one of those weird things. Yeah. This is, more or less one of the cartoon configurations, one of the more common ones. It's not my favorite. Honestly, this is not why I bought the set, but, it's passable, I guess. This is, you can see, yeah, he's got the butt plate and everything. The cars are hanging out on the back right there. You got all this stuff. He's got his Motormaster backpack, which looks clean. And then, well, unfortunately, yeah, that hinge, it doesn't take much anymore. I've noticed that more I've transformed Motormaster, the worse this has gotten. This is another one of those weird oversights. It's like, why did you not have anything? Why does this not tab in at all? This back half tabs in nowhere. Nothing tabs in over it or anything. It's just a bizarre, like, why? This was easily avoidable. So many people have come up with solutions, for this to kind of tab in or something some way so hold secure. I have my own coming soon, and hopefully that's we'll do something about it. But as it is, it's somewhat solid, but yeah, it doesn't take that much to make that come loose, which is unfortunate. And again, another weird thing is, why does this guy only have 2 slots on the car mode for 4 tabs on the leg? Weird oversight. Just weird unforced errors, I should say, about this combined mode. Otherwise, yeah, it looks pretty solid. Although, again, this is not my favorite thing because since the whole car is just hanging off as like little shoulder pad things. What should I do first? Of course, he has his 2 weapons, his sword and the gun, which both came with Motormaster. His hands, which can open up because they're very, very nice hands, I should say. You can open those up, and each one has a little tabs on the back of the handle. So I'm going to go in. There's a little thing on the center here. There's this little bar, little tab thing in the center of the hand. You have to line that all up. Again, I wish this was all just filled in with, so this was a solid no matter where you put it. But you have to make sure those tabs in the center of the palm, or else it will not hold. Which is again, another weird, frustrating, why'd you do it like that thing? It's one of those, why like that? That's such a weird way to handle it. And it's more or less the same thing on this side. Again, just a tab at the back of the handle. And just line it up with the center of the palm and close the fingers around it. And it's actually pretty secure as long as you have the tab in the center of the palm. It's pretty secure. But it's not, also doesn't take too much to also knock it loose if you want. But if you knock against it a couple times, it will start to come loose a bit. But the fingers themselves are tight enough that it actually kind of holds the gun into place, so it's just a little wobbly. So it's not terrible, but it's a little frustrating that it's like, why not the whole thing? So it doesn't matter where I plug it in, but whatever. That's neither here or there, I guess. Yeah, he's pretty stable, I feel. You can see him kind of... Yeah, he's not falling over anytime soon. You can see him kind of bouncing around, but honestly, he's not falling over anytime soon. Looks pretty nice, actually. Well, somewhat nice. Again, this is not my favorite one. But articulation. Head is on a ball joint, so left and right. Up and down a little bit. You got lots of waggle. Shoulders, stiff joints, but full 360 range there, although, watch that. Outwards, you got, well, that far before, at least in this mode, you got this far before the car starts banging into the shoulder. You got a bicep swivel. Unfortunately, in this mode, you have to move the car all the way to get outward, but yeah, you do have it. Although it's also, again, the elbow, because of how it transforms, the elbow is also slightly offset, so it can look a little weird in some poses. Elbow, you got right about 90 degrees. Wrists do, in fact, swivel. I'm going to have to remove the sword for this, though, unfortunately. But the wrists do swivel. You can see that. There is no really inward or outward or anything. The thumb is on a ball joint. It's also got one single hinge, so you got some posability there. All the fingers have a single hinge down at the base of the finger, and then another hinge, secondary hinge at top, and they're all individual. No splay. So there's that. You got a wrist or a waist rotation, largely unhindered, although sometimes the panels can, these panels around the hip skirt can kind of catch a little, but they usually get out of the way pretty easily. Yeah, I got full waist rotation. Ab crunch. He does have an ab crunch. It's a very extreme one. You can see it's full 90 degrees of ab crunch. Very nice on this. Very nice that it's there. Hip skirts getting out of the way. These skirts can kind of get out of the way, and the butt skirt can also get out of the way for hip movement. So hips can go forward about that far. Back about that far. These can actually move a little bit more. Outward, you got that far. I just bumped that off. That's the other thing. Sometimes the tabs aren't the most secure, and other times they are, and I can't seem to figure out what causes each. Or was I right? Hips can go back that far, outward that far, and that was the first time I've ever had it just come off that easily. Thigh swivel. Thing is, because the transformation is also this, which is kind of like, I believe, a lot of figure arts figures, so you got that if you really need it. So if you need to, you can actually get him kind of kicking up pretty high. So there's that if you need that at all. Knees can bend a little over 90 degrees. There's also a knee swivel because of reasons. And feet actually are pretty impressive, I'll be honest. Got, tilt that far and whatnot because of that bar and everything. You got tilt. You even got tilt outward. You have a bit of forward, a bit of, you can go up and down. You also got, I guess, technically kind of an outwards, although that's more of an, not super helpful unless you start getting into weird positions. But you got quite a bit of posability there at the foot. So yeah, there's all that stuff right there. Now, maybe I'll talk about the arms a bit. The arms do have multiple configurations. I'm going to get this gun off just to do this. Now, one of the other configurations you can do is, we'll take these off the shoulder things and close those back up and take these things off, and then you can just remove pretty much the entire arm. Most of the arm. You can remove most of the rest of the arm. So it'll come off. Yeah, these aren't tight. At least once you get them on there tight. And you can leave this little block here. And then you take the hand here and just pull it off there. And then just put that off the side. That's no purpose now. Now, the car. This one with dead end here. What you want to do is, this is going to be a little complicated and annoying. What you need to do is split the back end and start more or less as if you're transforming to robot mode, because this is what you need to do to get this all separated, which is really annoying. You have to kind of get this all separated and also get the hood up and get the arms, and that's complicated. Yeah, you have to get the legs out of the way a bit. So you get the arms out like that. Then you can bring this all back together. Close that all up. And then this right here, once you got that all done, you got this thing right here, this set of hinges and stuff. You untab that from here and you bring that down and bring it around like this and then up, and then you close this all back up. Close that all back up, and also this is where I like to go ahead and rotate the hands back around so that they're not as obviously hands in the arm mode. That's just me. And you go see that's an elbow thing. Now on this part, what you need to do is you need to take the hand and tap it in. It is actually channeled, so it only goes in one way. I've noticed that it only goes in one way. So yeah, there's a little dot. See there's a little dot on one side? Yeah, see that dot? Yeah, you want that to go so it's facing outside. And then there's these two tabs right here, which will go into these slots right here on the bottom of the car. Line that up, and yeah, that fills in the forearm. And then up here, okay, so up here at this thing right here, you see there's 3 tabs. Now, these 2 tabs go into these slots like before, but this tab goes underneath into this slot right there to hold that into place. It can be a little tricky to get it on too. Sometimes I got lucky, just went right in that time. And there you got the second arm configuration, which, there you go. That's one. This side, same sort of thing. Put that back in. Untab that and get the arm off. Again, it's on there pretty good. Now, get this arm off. There we go. Take the hand off. Put that arm to the side. Don't need it right now. Slot it into this thing. So, now, he's a little easier. Drag zip's a little easier to deal with. Again, you gotta get the engine out. Because yeah, you got to get the engine out of here and pull that up and get that all switch weighted. And then you can extend this out a little bit and untab the arms from the sides. So then you can get this part, again, untab it from the front and bring it down. Rotate that around like that. So it looks like this. Bring the arms back in. They don't tab into anything anymore. Then slide this all back up and tab the legs back together. Like so. And then this part, go ahead and tab this in. Tab this in. Like so. And then up here, then up at the arm. This is where things get complicated because drag strip here does not like to cooperate on this one. You got to tab this. There's once again 3 tabs up on this thing. You got to tab into this slot, and actually this slot. One of the tabs just seems to be just for stabilization. Oh wow! Once again, I got it in one try. That's kind of amazing, actually. And there you go. That's the second configuration for the arms. It looks good too. I like this. I like this arm configuration. Unfortunately, it kind of overall I can't use it with what my overall preferred look is. But hey, it looks good like this. I like these arms. The only unfortunate thing is, at least on mine, these elbows are kind of weak. And also, if you notice, he's got really limited articulation. Him, yeah, you notice the elbows do not bend 90 degrees anymore, and this one's got better articulation than this one, but there's unfortunately kind of limitations due to sculpting and whatnot. It's kind of unfortunate. And on top of that, I've noticed this. These elbows are noticeably weaker than the ones on the gray, the ones that come on Motormaster. To the point of, yeah, noticeably weaker. Unfortunate. Look nice though, at least. So there's that. As that's a second configuration. Looks good. Easy, not too bad to get into and whatnot. There's that. And so I guess final configuration. We'll again, once again, take the arms off here. You can go ahead and reattach the other arms because we'll need those. Reattach those. Make sure you do it right, because then they'll hold real solid. Detach these things and put the hands back on. Detach. Detach. Put it back on here. Now, final configuration, what you got to do is here at the waist, you rotate that and then you just pull away. It's keyed. The waist is keyed. There's a keyed. See that? It's a keyed. You know what you can tell, but yeah, see that how it's keyed, and so is this. Yeah, that's how it separates. And you gotta take this piece and rotate it back up and back into place, and tab it back in, and then tab the arms back in, and that's the upper half. And then this lower half, what you need to do is you need to slide the legs up, slide the legs down, rotate this piece, the waist piece, like that. You rotate that and then slide the waist piece underneath the engine block right there. And then this can just go ahead and tab in. These slots right here will correspond with these tabs right here. This is supposed to. There we go. Because those all corresponding. And then these right here. Let's see, which one is it? Yeah, this tab right here, this lower tab goes into this slot right here. That. That's one config. That's the final configuration. And then here, same thing. You take this rotate pull. This you have to open this all back up and then put this all back in. Tab that in and bring this all back. That. This part you do, well, you don't do anything with this waste piece. It just kind of has to sit there and there. So again, those tabs, slots right there, those slots right there will go over these tabs. That. And again, this slot and that slot will go over these tabs right here. There you go. And that is the final arm configuration, and probably the one most people are going to use. Again, because you get the benefit of the elbows, but they're also not hanging off kind of weirdly. And you get these you get the stronger elbows, they're not hanging off weirdly, and they just kind of at least seem to be at least somewhat integrated into the full combined mode. So there is that. And it looks kind of decent. The only thing here I would say is problem is the upper parts don't tab in as well as the lower parts. These are like rock solid. These aren't so much. These are much easier. The upper part is easy to knock off, unfortunately. So that's a thing. And of course, one final thing, if you got the pre-order / first run parts, we're going to finally go from the Virgin cartoon version to the Chad toy version. And what we're going to do there is first thing you want to do is actually, it's pretty simple for the most part. What you got to do here is rotate at the knee. Rotate at the knee. And you can flip those over. And I'm going to bring this out because then what you do with these is these things slide over. There's little slots, the little channels here. These just slide over like this. And those create the new toes. The same thing on this side. Again, just slide these over and create the new toes. There you go. That's the front, that's the lower legs done. Up here, what you need to do is you need to take the thigh pieces off. They just slide off forward, just slide off. They just are tabbed in super easy. And then you bring in the toy pieces and you just slide those over top. There you go. Same thing on this side. Slides off. This slides over top. Oh, look, it's already looking better. This is just tabbed in, so you just go ahead and just pull this part off. Yeah, pull the crotch plate off. I think it's easiest if you just go ahead and lift this hip skirt pieces and get a grip on this and just pull. It's just pegged in. And there's the toy piece / Studio Aux. Again, just go ahead and peg that in real nice. The final couple pieces of the head here, we're going to go and actually, I got unpeg tab. Oops. Yeah, see, that's what I mean by that was coming off real easily. Yeah, I got to untab that and probably got to remove all that stuff. Yeah, again, top parts come off real easy, bottom part's solid. You got to get all that done. And then what you do is right here, you see that there's a screw here. So you need a Phillips head screwdriver. You got to unscrew this. Doesn't take much. It's a very shallow screw. So yeah, they unscrew that chest piece. And you bring in the toy chest piece. Right, bring in the toy chest piece, and you line that up and screw that in. And again, like I said in the transformation video for this trailer thing, this piece is wider. So like you can still transform it. You can still transform it with this piece attached. It's just there's a little more. It's a little more precise comparatively. On top of that, it's also likes to fight when you try to put it on here. I've always had trouble with this part. It always likes to fight me when I'm trying to attach the toy chest piece. No, there you go. There we go. Got it. And don't try not to overtime it. I'm a little worried that if I do this too often, it's gonna, you know, start stripping the screw because the cheap screw kind of seems a little cheap. But anyway, is that. There we go. And finally, the head. The head is pretty easy. You just split the back half along the seam. Just split this right here. Split that. Pop that all off. It's actually three different pieces because the head itself is or the face itself is its own piece. You take that off. Same thing here. Split, put over top, and then bring it all together. Like so. You can go ahead and reattach everything. Get whatever crap's on there that off. Plug that in. Plug these guys back on. And one last thing you got to do, because something's missing. Shoulders. Now these transform. What you do here is you take these panels and move those out. And this is not anywhere in the instructions. This is really annoying. Take those, move those out. Take this little panel right here. You got to start moving that out and moving this panel and move that up too, because this helps complete things. You got to fold this panel 90 degree, this angle, this 90 degree angle, then bring this all down. This kind of bring this over top, and that's one shoulder pauldron. Same thing on this side. Open this up. Open that up. Start moving this panel down a bit. Move that panel down. Rotate this whole panel around. Bring this to a close. There you go. That's pretty much another shoulder pauldron. This is where I think, you know, I'm going to have to take these back off just to get them out of the way. Okay, this tab right here, this little tab right there that goes into a slot at the back of this thing right there. You see that slot? Yeah. You have to, right here, you have to bring this forward. There's a little hook, so you have to make sure to get it on this side of the hook and then kind of rotate it into the tabbing spot. And they're kind of rough initially, particularly the first few times. And then same thing on this side. Bring it in and tab that on. And then once again, reattach these and hope they don't fall off there again. There you go. There's the toy / Studio Aux version, and this is why I bought this set. This looks great in my opinion. This is why you get this set. This looks amazing. This I like. This I like a lot. Looks so much better. I feel like this way. Squared off foot, the little bit hints of red, the silver up here, the kind of emulating the little car thing that was on the original G1 toy. Even the shoulder pauldrons. My big complaint here is just simply the shoulder pauldrons, for whatever reason, aren't the same gray as the rest of the Motormaster trailer. They're this weird white, bone white almost. They kind of almost are the same color as this thing right here. The arms on Motormaster. I don't know why they made that decision. It's baffling to me. It should be gray. They should be gray, but whatever. I can live with it. I also wish I could do it this way and have the these with the elbows and everything without having weedy looking arms, because, well, you actually can't do that because the hands attach to these pieces. But honestly, overall, this is why I got this, and it's disappointing that these at least as far as I can tell, these pieces and all the toy pieces are, well, first run bonuses, and people are now going to start getting this without those pieces. Because I think this is what makes this set worth it, is that it does the whole Studio Aux thing / toy thing, rather than being, well, slavish to a cartoon where Menasor looked terrible. Also got a nice little white, transparent, white outline. You kind of think, even though it's technically not accurate, I think it looks good. And this is why I got it, and I think this looks phenomenal. This is wonderful like this, and pretty much have the same articulation. Again, with these arms like this, unfortunately, his hands get in the dead end's hands get in the way of this elbow bending, which is kind of frustrating. I don't know why. I wish this was better. This is a bit better. It's almost 90 degrees, not quite, but almost. But other than that, this is the one real hindrance is his hands. I wish there was a way to like fold them in or something, but there's not. I think that would have solved a lot of issues with Dead End in general. But anyway, this guy's great. He's genuinely great, and I really like him. And yeah, it was worth the QC issues on Dead End here. It was genuinely worth it just for this. This looks great, and I am so happy. This is actually the first time I fully assembled everything with all of the guys, and it looks good. I do not regret getting this guy. Yeah. That's great. For a bit of comparison, I guess. From the back. There we go. For a bit of comparison, here's with, again, the New Age and Iron Factory and official Legends. You can see, yeah, towers over those guys. Yeah, this feels about right, actually. Maybe, yeah, feels about right. So you got those guys. And the other Legends class combiner I have, Iron Factory's War Giant. He is noticeably taller, about a full head so taller. Just give you an idea there. He's about noticeably a full head or so taller than War Giant. I mean, War Giant is technically overall taller, but yeah, at the head to head, it's a full head taller. Yeah, that's a thing. So I'm guessing, yeah, Iron Factory combiner simply are not going to really scale well with like New Age Magic Square. I have no idea about New Age quite yet because they haven't released a combiner yet, but they have revealed their Devastator, which is not what I'm interested in anymore because of that. Let's just charge you $75 for essentially the central core piece, which doesn't transform or anything. It's just a good chunk of Devastator's body versus Magic Square seems to be actually doing it right. So I might actually get the Magic Square Devastator. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, overall, I really like this. There's a couple weird issues. The upper arms for the cards do not stay tabbed on super well. Wild Rider, for some reason, only has 2 slots for 4 tabs, which is a bizarre move. Motormaster's back end does not tab into anything, so it flops or eventually starts to flop around. Just stuff like that. The miscoloring, I feel like the shoulder things are just not the right color. It's just a weird thing. There's all these weird little mistakes, which I don't think completely harm the full thing, but they are just kind of like, you look at them and go, but why though? Or whatever. This could have been done a little bit better and whatnot. But overall, I think it's a great package. It's just the unfortunate thing for me in particular is Dead End has the nasty QC issues, which really are frustrating to deal with. Let me think. How much was this guy total for me? $270 if you buy domestically, and you were lucky to get an early bird price for the leg bots. It was about $270. It's about $280 domestically without that. You can get cheaper from places like ShowZ or possibly eBay from a Chinese seller. But yeah, he's essentially just shy of $300, and it's a lot of money. But yeah, for a combiner, yeah, it's one of those weird things. He's the same. He's at this point, he's roughly the same height as a masterpiece like Megatron or something. So yeah, he kind of justifies his price, but at the same time, it is kind of like off-putting. Can be off-putting in the sense particularly with the widespread QC issues with the arm bots. It's one of those things. Is it worth it? For me personally, yes, I think in the end it was worth the troubles and stuff because I'm looking at this and going, wow, I really like how this looks, and I'm really glad I got this. But it can be a couple issues. It can be a bit of a hassle at times. There's a couple little things, but yeah, it's I think overall solid. It might be a little pricey, but it is overall pretty solid. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to get this any cheaper than it's the asking price, because Magic Square is weird about reissues and stuff. They don't really do them very often. And of course, for me, the thing is, if you really like this toy look, if you haven't already started picking these guys up, then you've probably already lost out, because the toy look are a first run bonus, and it looks like the leg bots are already going on the second run, and thus no thighs or toes. So you're kind of already in a bad place there. PDB will do 3D printing. They might be able to hook you up in some way, or maybe Magic Squirrels one day sell them as an accessory pack, which wouldn't surprise me. And of course, I'll make it cost extra, but yeah. You got to factor that into your decision. And of course, whether or not you're going to go all in with like Magic Square or New Age or what. Because Iron Factory is going to be a bit short, and well, Magic Square and New Age seem to be hell-bent on killing each other, so there's that. They both more or less confirm they're going to be doing a bunch of the combiners, and they're already working on Devastator and whatnot, so there we go. I guess that was a lot of rambling, but I like him. He's a bit spendy. The last set had some issues. The overall set has a couple small problems here and there. Very small problems. But I overall do not regret getting him, and I suspect a lot of people feel the same way. So that's it, I think. I hope you found this informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. There's also coffee on Patreon, and I see you next time with another video review.